Could you speak about the last project of Gaetano Pesce, which is shown at in the fair?
We're very excited to be showing Gaetano Pesce's last furniture designs with Salon 94 here in Paris at Design Miami, Paris. And this is a group of furniture he called La Familia. So what you'll see is chairs with these faces on them that give the sense of a happy family, all the way down to a little baby. And it's a very good example of something that Gaetano is very well known for, which is bringing figuration into furniture and buildings and other projects, and really kind of giving them a life. Very different from the kind of rationalist, geometric associations you might have with modern furniture. Something totally different, and something that Gaetano really brought into design history with all of his spirit. And maybe Alessandro.
On the technical side, what he wanted to do was to use the felt as a material and to use the resin to harden the felt and shape it to his liking. And it's similar to what you would see with Cassina and the felt series, but in this case it's half and half. So half hard, half soft. It's a combination of these things, and he was able to shape them to his liking with faces to kind of like convey happiness to the public and comfort.
Yes, happiness was important, right?
Very important.
I remember I interviewed him once at Sotheby's, in fact.
There's a wonderful story that we heard from Giulia Toschieri, who's studio manager for Gaetano, that he got the idea for putting the resin into the felt when he saw a felt hat in Hong Kong in a puddle. So the water was soaking in, and he realized that he could have the resin soak in and then make this industrial felt into something rigid.
Yeah. And what was his relation to art? Was he considering what he was doing was art? Or just design? What can we say about that?
That's a slippery slope. I mean, it's tricky to say. He's always been very much close to the art world and to design world, being an architect, but at the same time kind of like wanting to be multidisciplinary, so playing with all these aspects. He never wanted to be identified as an artist or a designer or an architect per se.
No, a designer.
Yeah, he wants to dabble with all these things freely. The main thing about Gaetano is freedom. So in his expression, he always wanted to be free to do whatever he felt like doing.
I think also he just shows how limiting classifications are, and if you really let your imagination go, then it takes you into all of these different spaces, and so why would you want to be one thing only when you could be an architect?
Yes, to do or not to do is one point, but to say I'm this or that is another story.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he was not saying anything.
He said plenty, but what he always said was that freedom was absolutely crucial for him. Freedom, diversity, communication. These were his values.
I think we can see that in this booth.
And is it limited series or what?
Yes. So
That was important for him?
it was, although he also was very interested in thinking about mass production, or I could say serial production, but how you would introduce a quality of variation into the series.
Make each piece unique.
Yeah, so that's
Yes.
different from this. This is a very limited group of furniture, so very few will be made. But he was interested in working with large, particularly Italian furniture companies, B&B Italian, Cassina, and doing research about how you could bring what he called aleatory aesthetics, in other words, chance-based operations, almost a kind of Duchampian idea, into the heart of furniture manufacturing.
Duchamp? Why Duchamp?
Well, because
I would have thought about Warhol making unique in repetition.
also Warhol, but of course that goes back to Duchamp.
Of course, everything
So,
goes back to Duchamp, except
evidently,
Adam and Eve.
Well, you know,
No, and he painted Adam and Eve, I think.
Duchamp was interested in chance, and so the idea that you would
Yeah.
complicate authorship through chance, and that was something Gaetano was very involved with too. But that's just one of many examples of how he brought avant-garde ideas into the production of objects like chairs and buildings.
And playing with it. So experimentation was also very important for him. He would always like to use new materials, new techniques. He wouldn't like to use anything that was already done.
And this is the very last series.
Last furniture designs. Yeah.
Furniture designs.
He had several projects that were underway when he passed last year.
Oui.
And this is the very last group of furniture he designed. Yes.
Merci, messieurs.
Thank you.